Want a sword? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we make these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle. But you know you're capable of more, and you need a push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and learn to make a choice to rewire your mind and take control of your life. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Choose to be in control.
You are always in control of how you feel. You're always in control. You may not be in control of the world and the results that are happening and how people are acting around you, but you are always in control. You can be. You can choose to be in control of how you feel. There's the great quote that there's nothing either good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. When something happens, you have a choice. Right? Your subconscious mind can take over, and I'm going to give you a super important hack in this video on how to do it. But you have a choice. You can at any time choose to see that thing that happened as a negative or positive. The problem is we let our subconscious mind take over. We let our stories and our patterns take over, and we let that take us into the negative. And when you're in the negative, you're not productive, you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, you're not in action mode, you're not building momentum, and you don't hit your goals. How do you override the subconscious mind? How do you get into that positive place when you are in a negative place? This is really important because when you're watching maybe a video like this or when you're inspired, you don't need it as much, right? When you're inspired and you're ready to go, you're on fire, you're taking action, nothing can stop you. You've had these moments where you felt super fulfilled, whether it was meeting somebody or watching a video or listening to a podcast or reading a book. You had these moments that you felt amazing. And then what did you do? You went to work. And when something bad happened, you just overcame and kept going. But it's when you're in the depths, when you're not feeling great, when something really bad happens to you, what do? Here's the hack that I use, that if you can apply this consistently, it will change your life. It will change your life. It's catching those down moments and saying 3 words. 3 simple words. It's the best. It's the best. Anytime you find yourself complaining, it's the best. Anytime you find yourself in a negative situation, it's the best. Anytime you find yourself stressed, overwhelmed, out of control, it's the best. It's the best. It's the best. Tell yourself it's the best. And we're trying to rewire our subconscious mind. And you won't catch it all the time, and don't judge yourself for catching it all the time. But if you can catch it once, and you can catch it again the next day, and you can catch it 3 times the next day, you're gonna start to train yourself. You're gonna start to catch it more often. You're gonna start catching it instead of 1% of the time, 4% of the time, to 20% of the time, to 50% of the time. You'll catch it more because you're building the muscle of catching it. It's the best. Why? Why is it the best? Well, again, there's nothing either good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. You can choose to see the best in any situation. I've used this for small things and big things. So even today. So today, in the morning, I decided to do a whole bunch of squats. My legs were burning me. Right after that, I take the dogs out for their morning walk. And what I've been doing in the morning is after I take the dogs for a walk, I climb up 13 flights of stairs, holding both my dogs. I got these 2 little dogs. They're maybe 12 pounds each. And I hold one under each arm and I walk up the stairs. My legs were jello at the start. And I remember getting to the 6th floor. And like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. My legs are jello. These dogs are heavy. These feel like 1,000 pounds. I just want to quit. I just want to get on the elevator and go all the way up to the 13th floor. The voice in my head tells me, well, but I already did all the squats. We find our way out, right? We give ourselves logical reasons, logical outs from situations. I did all these squats, so that kind of counts, right? I mean, I don't normally do squats in the morning. I did them here. That should count as half the climb of stairs, right? Like, no. This is the practice. This is the best. This right now is the best. This is my chance to show myself what I'm made of. That those extra 7 flights of stairs do not own me. And even if I'm walking at half pace, I'm gonna get to the 13th floor. This is the debate inside my own head as I'm climbing the stairs. And this seems trivial, right? This is not a big deal. This is one-off. What happens doesn't really matter. But in those moments when you want to quit, when you want to give yourself the out, when you want to play small, when you're giving yourself that excuse for not doing it, how you react becomes super important. This is another small little battle that I won by going all the way up to the 13th floor and then hitting 13 and opening the door. That feeling of pride, of belief in myself, because I overcame the difficult thing. You want to build self-confidence? You have to do difficult things. Every time you go up against something that is difficult, that is hard, that is scary, and you're battling yourself, and then you get through it and you do it, whether you get a great result or not. That wasn't my best climb up, but that I continued and that I finished it, that I got there. That makes you feel great about yourself. That's how you build the self-confidence, self-love, self-respect, by doing the difficult things, by having that inner debate with yourself, and then choosing the path of growth, choosing that path of growth instead of choosing the smaller path and letting yourself off the hook. Because other people might look at you and say, what a great job you're doing, how hard you're pushing yourself, and maybe you're pushing yourself too hard, but they just have lower standards than you. This is the battle with yourself, to be proud of yourself. It's the best. So this is my fastest hack, my fastest way to get into growth Evan. Proud Evan. Believe Evan, that when I find myself complaining about something negative in my life, I say, this is the best. This is the best. This is my chance to show myself and the world who Evan Carmichael is. And what does that do? Well, one, it's a little mental trick, because even just doing that, even if you just say that, you can practice it right now. Say out loud, this is the best. Think about some negative situation. This is the best. This is my chance to show myself and the world what I'm made of. Tell yourself that. Instantly you're gonna find, maybe you're not all the way amped up, ready to go, but you're feeling a little bit better than you were before. And all you need is that little tiny bit of inspiration to force you into action mode. The point of saying it's the best isn't just some motivational pump up, it's to get you the courage to then take the action and do the thing. Because all you need are those few seconds of courage to take the action to then make yourself proud. The goal of it's the best is to get you into action mode. Now, what about bigger things? What about bigger problems? Well, listen, when I broke my neck last year on my tour, right? If you guys don't know the story, I broke my neck in 2 spots and had a concussion and compressed my spine and had all these issues. What did I do? I told myself, this is the best. It's the same strategy, guys. It's the best. This is my chance to show myself and the world what I'm made of. And when everybody told me to go home on my tour and to lie in bed and relax, I finished my tour. I only missed 1 spot on my tour because I was in a hospital in Colorado. Every other stop we hit, and I sat at the front with ice packs for 4 hours answering questions and doing my event. Was it the best event? No. Was I on top of my game as much as before? No. But I finished it, and it was an inspiration to a lot of the people who came out too. They say, I'm complaining about the guy who cut me off in traffic on the way here, and you're sitting here with a broken neck at the front doing the workshop. Like, yep, right? Let's go. It's the best. And ultimately, if you step above it, if you believe, like I believe, that your purpose comes from your pain, whatever happened to you, that deepest, darkest moment in your life that you never want to experience again, that you never want to go back to again, that pain, that's your purpose. Helping other people never experience that pain. Helping other people go through that pain and feel like they're not alone, like you were alone. That's your calling. That's your purpose for the rest of your life. That will fill you up for the rest of your life. For me, helping entrepreneurs not struggle as much as I struggled at the beginning will fill me up forever, forever. Your purpose comes from your pain. And so the greatest pain of all time that you ever went through is the best. It's the best. You could choose to be overwhelmed by it. That pain that happened to you will define you one way or the other. Either you continue to live in that pain or try to forget that pain and never live a fulfilled life, or you choose to serve and you choose to help and you choose to understand that there are millions of people right now who are struggling with that same thing and they're suffering alone and they could use your help. It's the best. So whether it's getting cut off in traffic, whether it's breaking your neck on a tour, whether it's some crazy thing that happened to you when you were younger, some painful moment, It's the best. It's the best. And you try to catch it and use that as your 3 seconds of courage to then take the action that would make you proud. Because if you did that consistently, you start to catch it more often. You start to take those complaining moments that you have, even if it's just complaining inside your head. Maybe you're not complaining out loud, but you're complaining inside your head. You're about to give yourself a break. You're about to tell yourself to go easy and have an excuse for not doing something. And then you wake up tomorrow and you're not proud of yourself anymore. Try to catch it today, tomorrow, this week. Catch it just once, catch it. And say, no, not this time. This is the best. This is my chance to show myself in the world what I am made of. Good luck.
Rule number 2, take responsibility.
The single greatest thing that you can do to improve the quality of your life is to take responsibility for it. No more blaming your parents, or the country, or the government, or your family, or your community, or your education. No more blaming other people. It's you. It's you. It may not be your fault where you are right now, but it is your responsibility alone to fix it. You didn't pick where you started, but you can choose where you end up. It's up to you. So I remember growing up, my parents were very hardcore in education. You see my parents behind me here. I'm 8 or 9 here. These are my parents. And we were a middle-class family. We weren't poor by any stretch, but we also, we're not rich. And my parents invested basically everything they had into our education. They put us all in the private schools, and taking 3 kids into private schools was a giant chunk of the income that they made. And so we didn't spend money on a lot of other stuff. I remember driving into my school, and all of the friends, all the other people at the school had all these fancy cars that when they turn 16, they're given a Mercedes or BMW from their family. And my family had a Reliant K car that kind of made a bunch of noises as it came into the school that was, I don't know however many years old, just because my family prioritized education, and we were playing in a league that was maybe above our means, but they valued that so much, and then we took a hit on other things. And I remember I used to get made fun of for the car, and I never went on the vacations that they went on, and I didn't have the fancy watches and all that other stuff. And there was one friend of mine who was kind of in a similar boat, where his parents, weren't making a lot of money, invested everything that they had into his education too. And so we quickly became friends as I guess the poor kids at the school. But it's funny now because I never blame my parents. I'm super grateful for the opportunities. I mean, why I have them up on my wall, that they invested so much and that they cared. And it's on me. Like, if my business doesn't work out, it's not their fault. Right? Up until, you can potentially move out. I don't know what age you want to say, if it's 14, 15, 16, 18, but after a certain age, you're an adult, and you have to take responsibility for your life. I can't be here at, how old am I now? 39? I can't be 39 blaming my parents. Like, it's my fault. If I'm not successful, it's on me. What happened when I was 6 years old doesn't matter anymore. Now it's on me. And there might have been some crazy stuff that happened to you, right? But you're allowing it to happen to you every day. You're allowing that story to come up and hurt you every single day. Now it's your choice. You don't have to end up in the same spot that you are right now. It starts with you stopping blaming the people around you. And what's been an amazing full circle moment is a lot of the people that I went to school with, a lot of the people who are gifted those Mercedes and BMWs, when they're 16, they're now coming to me and asking for help. I'm more successful than a huge chunk of them. They want to start businesses and they don't know how to do it. They're asking for help and reaching out. It's a pretty wild experience, because I almost went down the path that they went in terms of getting the jobs, but I became an entrepreneur. And that can happen to you too, right? All the people who you're jealous of, all the people who might be giving you a hard time, all the people around you who aren't chasing their dreams down, you might end up being an inspiration to them. But it starts by you being an inspiration to yourself. It starts by you taking accountability and responsibility and saying, I'm gonna go make my life better than what it is right now. So how do you do it? I'm gonna give you 3 steps. Let's go. Step number 1 is figure out, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want your life to be? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What do you want to be doing on a regular basis? What's in your calendar? What do you want? What do you want? I want to solve the world's biggest problem. Try saying that on the street. right? It's crazy. What do you want to do? What do you want? Even though the people around you may not understand it, chances are they won't. Chances are the thing that you want is not what your parents and your family did. It's something totally different. It's an opportunity that didn't exist. I had a guy on my Twitch stream yesterday, League of Legends online. He was telling me, I wish I was born a couple decades earlier because I would have had a comic store. But now you can't make money at a comic store, and I want to be financially independent. It's like, you want to be financially independent? Dude, you don't want to be born 2 decades ago. The guy who was born 2 decades ago barely had any tools available to be able to become financially independent. People who own comic book stores 2 years ago were not financially independent. You're living a really meager life. I mean, you can be independent, I guess, and not having to work for somebody else, but you're not taking massive vacations. You're not making a lot of money. But now, the amount of opportunities, the fact that you could be sitting here playing a video game and making money is crazy. It did not exist 20 years ago. So no, don't go back and wish you were born 20 years earlier so you can open a comic book store. You have way more opportunities right now to be financially independent. So what do you want? Figure it out. Number 2 is eliminate the negativity. So you want this thing. You want this life. You want these resources at your disposal. You want to be doing these things. There's a lot of people, including the voice in your head, there's a lot of people saying, you can't do that, you'll never do that, you're not good enough. Do you know where you came from? You know what your education is? You think you can go do that? Are you crazy? Are you nuts? You can't do that. Start to shut it down. Start to eliminate the negativity. And you know by how you feel. If you are, this is especially, think about people and the resources that you're consuming. So the media you're consuming, right? People and what you're consuming. So videos that you're watching, books that you're reading, although chances are there aren't that many super negative books, but think more videos you're watching, I guess, series you're watching, where you might lose your time, and the people around you, where you feel worse about yourself, where you feel lower energy than when you went in, where you're just escaping your problems instead of actually confronting them, right? You want to eliminate or at least limit exposure access to it. Now, maybe that's your mom. So maybe you don't talk about some things with your mom now. Maybe you shut off that kind of side. I'm not saying you need to eliminate your mom from your life, although for some people, that's honestly the best thing, and people have done it and then exploded. But at least limit access to certain topics. Eliminate the negativity. And then step number 3 is fill the void with possibility. So you've eliminated access. You're not hanging around with your friends who are always complaining and being negative. You stop watching the shows that don't teach you anything, that are mindless entertainment. You stop talking to people about the things that you know they're gonna just berate you for and never support you on. Great, so now you have extra time. What are you gonna spend that time on? Inject yourself with possibility. Surround yourself with people who are doing amazing things. That could be even in the form of videos. It could be this, maybe the espresso videos you need every day. Awesome, I'm humbled to be a part of your journey. Maybe it's the top 10s, maybe it's my main channel, maybe it's other videos, other creators, maybe it's going to events, maybe it's hanging out at different meetups and meeting new people, right? There's lots of different things that you can do. But the goal is to fill that void in your time now with possibility. Because the more that you're around people and ideas that make you feel bold, that make you feel like it's possible, that crazy idea, the what do you want back in step 1, that you feel that it's possible, that you can do it, that might actually be attainable. That seed of hope is everything. Because whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. The people around you, chances are telling you that you can't do it. And you need to switch the narrative. You need to change the story by injecting more possibility into your life.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to shift that habit forward. So I've designed a special free program to help you get more self-belief for every day. For 254 days, I will send you an email to an unlisted video that if you watch it, will shift your confidence forward. The links to join for free are in the description below. You have to enjoy what you're doing. You have to wake up and look forward to the day that is ahead. Dramatically improve the chance of you getting your deal. They'll look over your proposal. They will give you feedback, suggestions, how to tweak your proposal. If you've never done it before, and I'm going through this process right now.
We need to stop using weak language and pay attention to the words that you're speaking to others and to yourself.
Rule number 3, try your hardest.
You need to tie your self-respect to your efforts, not your results. Where you get your self-love from, your self-respect, your self-confidence should not come from winning. It comes from trying. Because if you tie your self-respect to winning, you'll only do things that you know you're gonna win at, and therefore you play small for life. So I'm training a guy on my team who I've promoted, and I'm putting him in a position that is way beyond his skill set, way beyond what he thought he'd be doing, and it's a big push outside his comfort zone. He was a guy who was doing a bunch of admin tasks for me, and now he's in charge of all of my YouTube analytics. I want him to be my data guy. I want him to go through the thousands of videos that I have on my channel and make recommendations to say, this intro is too long, this intro is too short, this thumbnail sucks. You know, when you talk, Evan, things blow up or things suck. When you wear black, people love it. Anything. Go through all the data, go through all the analytics, and tell me where we need to make improvements. So I was on a call with him yesterday, and I had to have a serious talk with him, because he's looking for data that supports his hypothesis. Because he suggested on my channel, my main channel, that we go back to my original intros, where I say one sentence here, one sentence here, and one sentence here, and then he's Robert F. Smith, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success, right? That's what we did way back, like in the very first original series of the top 10s, and we've evolved. So he suggested take out the song, take out the intro, take out a whole bunch of stuff and just do those 3 things. And let's see if it works. So that's what I did. Like, great, good idea. The data supported it, backed it up. Let's go and try. We haven't tried it, we won't know. So we tried it. The first video came up was the Robert F. Smith top 10 rules for success on that new template. And I'm looking at the data and it sucked. You know, my goal is to get 70% audience retention at 1 minute. That's my goal across my channels, 70% audience retention at 1 minute. That means 30% of people max have left at the 1 minute mark. That's an insanely high goal to reach. Almost nobody hits that, especially consistently. You might think, oh, 70%, it's easy. It's insanely difficult in the YouTube world. So I looked at the numbers for this one, and it was 52% or something brutal. We don't really operate in the 52% range. So this one came in, it was brutal. 52%, like having a heart attack. Oh, it sucked. People hate this. And then I asked him, hey, how are we doing on the new videos? And he sent me this report that says, hey, well, on our relative data is up. You know, a relative of data saying compared to all videos on YouTube, this video is doing well in the first minute. Yeah, but that's not actually the real story, because all of our videos relative to regular YouTube, if you're looking at any video, this video, my first video, all of them, every video I make relative to a normal average YouTube video, we're higher relative. That's not what I'm looking for. We're going after 70% audience retention at 1 minute. You know this. This is where we're focused. And behind all of it was he just didn't want to feel like a failure. He didn't want to feel like he recommended something to me and it didn't work out. That he's trying to justify it by saying, well, look, this stat shows that it works, but it's not what we're after. This experiment so far has been an epic failure, and that's okay. What I need you to do is expect to suck. Expect the ideas not to work. Know that coming in. Know that coming in, we're already operating at a really high level, right? If every experiment that we try works, that means that we just sucked at the beginning, right? We sucked. You're learning. You're picking this up. Most of my new experiments don't work. I'm trying hundreds of new things all the time, and most of them won't work. I expect to suck. But it's okay, because I tie my self-worth to the effort. Am I putting my max effort out? Your experiment, I'm talking to the guy, your experiment was a great test. I backed it. The data suggested we do it, but it's not working. And we'll give it a month to see. And if it still doesn't work, we're gonna move on to do something else. And he felt really bad, and he said, don't tie your self-respect to winning. Like, if we get a win, it's amazing. But it has to be to the effort. Like, you tried, you did a lot of work, you dug deep, you found stuff, you came up with a recommendation that was legit, that was solid, that was valuable. It wasn't put Evan in a butterfly suit and have him fly around the city saying top 10 rules, right? It wasn't crazy, it made sense. And whether it works or not, we need to make the best decisions, because if we just took data that we thought was good, but wasn't actually our goal, if we twisted the data to make it fit our goals, make it look like we're winning, everybody loses. Everybody loses. If I keep that intro, everybody loses. I lose, he loses, you guys, the audience lose, we all lose. All because he was afraid of losing, right? Net, you lose. Same thing for you. If you're only gonna take on things that you know you're gonna win at, you're losing. You're losing. If you tie your self-esteem to winning, then you only take on things that you know you're gonna win at or have a high degree of chance of winning, right? 80% chance of winning. Might be a little bit of discomfort, 20% chance it may not work out. That's the zone that most people operated in. They're barely pushing their comfort zone. They're staying inside what they know. And so, yay, you're winning all day long, but you're winning at small stuff where you're capable of more, you're capable of bigger things, you're capable of having a huge impact. Let's go. To get there, you're gonna fail, you're gonna suck. Your first attempts won't work, just like all of your heroes. All of your heroes, their first attempts did not work. They failed, they sucked, and they kept going. But if you woke up and every day you tied your self-respect to, I'm gonna do my darndest today, right? I'm gonna push my face in to make sure that I make some progress today. If you're proud of your effort, if every day you are proud of the effort that you put in, could you tell yourself that whatever your mission is, that you're proud of your effort on a daily basis for how much you work towards it? For most people, it's no. For most, it's not even close. How many days have you had in the past year where you're proud of your effort, the work you put in? For most people, it's not that much. Maybe moments, but days, weeks, months. If you woke up every day and were proud of your effort for what you did yesterday, you're gonna do it again, I promise you, you're gonna win. That's what winning actually looks like. Waking up and losing most of the day and being proud of your effort. And then you look back at what's happened in the past year. It's like, holy cow, that crazy staircase that I built. I never thought I could do it. Where most people are so focused on just winning and they get to the first step of life. So I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that can start you on your journey. This is important. Let's get to it. Step number 1, what's something you can fail at today? Anything, just get used to failing. Remove the sting of failing. What's something that you can fail at today? Do something that you know is not gonna work. Make your first video, post it on YouTube. Fail, right? Ask somebody for their phone number on the street. You know, somebody of the same sex. If that's not how you roll, right? Somebody where like, you know you're gonna fail. Just do it, just to remove the sting of that. Realize that failing is not that bad. Failing is not fatal. It's okay. What can you fail at today? Something small. Step number 2, why are you proud of your effort for trying? Why are you proud? Why are you proud of you just failed? Why are you proud? You didn't get the result. It didn't work. Why are you proud of yourself? Because I put in the effort, right? What's the effort? How can you say, man, I am so proud of myself for trying to do that scary thing? Because conquering scary things through action is the thing that you want to be proud of yourself for, because you tie your self-worth to you being the person who does difficult things. You do difficult things, not you win at small things in life. Make that shift. So that thing you're going to fail at, what are you going to tell yourself you're proud for? And then step number 3 is, how will you celebrate the attempt? How do you celebrate? Celebrate. Pat yourself on the back, clap it up, post to social media. I do film all these on a little mini trampoline. How are you gonna celebrate? Put on music, take a friend out for lunch, celebrate. Feel it, feel the joy, feel the happiness, feel the energy that you get for trying something difficult. You tried something difficult, that's amazing. This is a big shift for most people. This is weird thinking, but this is successful thinking. What's the difference between you and these people who've had success? Hasn't been money, they started with less than you. Hasn't been connections and resources, they started with less than you. Why? It's this difference in mindset. Successful people think differently. Reward yourself for trying. Celebrate yourself for the failure, for trying, for the effort. Because if you celebrated the effort and you are proud of the effort every single day of the next 10 years of your life, holy cow, the person you will become is going to be very impressive. And you're going to be shocked looking back at how far that you actually built your life.
Rule number 4, have a big mission.
What's the difference between you and Jack Ma? You both have crazy dreams. You both started with the odds stacked against you. You both started with very little resources. So what's the difference? The difference is that Jack kept believing in his dreams and his ideas when most people quit and give up. So I actually think you should be on a mission for life. I'm not a big believer in 5-year goals or 10-year goals. I think they can help, but I think if you have a 5 or 10-year goal, you're actually thinking small, because You can't predict where you're going to be in 5 or 10 years, just like the person you were 5 or 10 years ago could not have designed the life for where you're at right now. Not if you're growing, because the world's changing too quickly and you're growing and evolving. So the ideas and goals that you had 5 years ago may not even be relevant anymore, but the mission stays the same. My mission is believe, right? Your purpose comes from your pain. So my mission is believe. I want to support entrepreneurs because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur. And I think it's the world's biggest problem. I think the world's biggest problem is people don't believe in themselves enough. I think any other problem that you come up with should have already been solved by now, but the person who could solve that, cancer, the woman who should have solved cancer is an account manager at McDonald's, because she never tried going to medical school, or two, she did, but she didn't believe in herself enough to chase it down, because everybody around there is telling her that she's crazy. You should be crazy. You're doing something that's never been done before. You're on a mission, right? And so no matter how many people I touch with all of my content, all of my channels, every video that I'm making, every speaking gig, every city that I go to, no matter how many people I touch, it's not going to be enough. I think that's great. I think you should have a mission so big that you're never going to actually accomplish it. I think of Ted Turner's father, who when he made a certain amount of money, became a millionaire, or whatever the number was, he killed himself because he hit his goal. And hitting your goal is actually sad. And so Ted Turner decided that I'm going to set a goal so big that I can never hit it. And that's way more where I'm aligned. I think you should have a mission, something so big that you can never hit it. Some people think of that as, well, it's too big, and so why even try? And I think of that starfish example of the kids at the beach with the starfish, and there's like 1 million starfish on the beach, and she's throwing the starfish back in the water so they can live. And the guy walks by and says, "What are you doing? You can't save all the starfish." And she says, "I know, but I can save that one, and this one, and that one." Right? And so each person that you help, each step you take is beneficial. It's helpful. You never want to actually hit the goal, but you wake up every day working your face off to try to hit the goal, right? To hit that mission. And so that's belief for me. And I desperately hope that you find it for you. So how do you keep believing in your dreams? I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Number 1 is make big decisions with your heart. So big decisions with the heart, small ones with the head. At the beginning, when you're trying to decide what to do, your head and your heart often will fight, they'll conflict, they won't be aligned, because your head only understands a world that currently exists. It's safe, it's practical, it's logical, and knows what currently exists. Where your heart can create something brand new. Your heart can imagine something that's never existed before. And so they clash at the beginning, right? Your heart wants to go do this thing, but you don't know how it's going to work out because it doesn't make sense, because nobody's done it before, and especially someone who looks like you with your resources and your education, your background and your connections and your financial situation. Nobody like you has ever done it before. That's what your head's saying. And so there's this big fight. You need to take control of the situation. You need to get them aligned by saying, this is what I'm doing, right? Big decisions with the heart. And then your head's saying, oh, he's serious. She's serious. Okay, I better help because I don't want to die. And now your head starts working with you. Now your head starts helping you figure out how to actually go off and accomplish it. You're using your thinking side to help you accomplish your mission. But at the very beginning, it doesn't make sense, and so they'll fight. So the big decisions with the heart, and then the small ones with your head to help you figure out how to actually do it. Step number 2 is daily momentum. The biggest thing that you are missing is momentum. You're a genius. You have Michael Jordan level talent. You can save the world. You've got a big, ambitious, crazy mission that you're on. I love it. It's amazing. That's why you're here. That's why you're an entrepreneur. Let's go, right? I'm excited pretty easily about entrepreneurship. The problem is you don't have momentum. There's no momentum. Nothing's happening enough on a daily basis. And so you need daily momentum. It doesn't matter that you watch one video like this and then you're on fire the rest of the day. It has to be every day, every single day. You have to build momentum to your business. Too many entrepreneurs, they start and they stop, and they start and they stop, and they start and they stop. They never get anywhere because they're too busy starting and stopping. And then you wonder, where's my, you didn't create the momentum. That's what's missing. Every single day, do the thing, put it into your morning routine that makes you feel bold, alive, unstoppable, confident, and then go out and create momentum. That is your duty, your responsibility, your must every single day. Create momentum. And then step number 3 is ask yourself, what would the most bold version of you do? What would the most bold version of you do? Just ask that question. Here's your mission. Here's what you're trying to accomplish. You're looking at your calendar. You're looking at what you want to accomplish. What would the most bold version? Just eliminate any insecurities, eliminate fears, eliminate judgment, eliminate the toxic people for your life just for this magical, 18 seconds. And ask yourself, what would the most bold version of me do? And then see what comes back. And then chances are that's the actual thing that you should be doing. Because you know what? you do bold things.
Rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, chart your start.
Creating daily success routines is the secret to getting everything that you want. Everything that you want out of life, out of business, your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, everything that you want lie on the other side of what you are doing daily, of your daily success, habits, and routines. I think we let ourselves down by default. I think we worry about other people's opinions by default. I think we play small every day by default. I think you should have already accomplished a lot of the things that are on your list, but you're stuck in procrastination mode because you are playing small by default, because you are not consistent, because you do not have the habits on a daily basis to keep going. Consistency is the difference maker. And so how do you stay consistent? I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to do it. Number 1 is chart your start. What you do in the first 15 minutes of your day matters. Chart your start. Have a plan of action. Most people wake up like an accident. Most people wake up, they're tired, you pull out your phone, you start looking at your email, and what are you doing when you're looking at your email or looking at social media? You're responding to other people's emergencies. Like you wake up, you're tired, and the first thing you do is you start responding to other people's emergencies. I want you to control the first part of your day. Chart your start. Understand what it is that makes you come alive. Understand what is the action that helps you feel bold, creative, unstoppable. We've all had it. You've all had moments where you have felt bold, courageous, and unstoppable. What led to that? Reverse engineer yourself. What led to you feeling bold? Is it watching a video? Is it reading a book? Is it having a conversation? Is it doing a meditation? Is it taking your dog out for a walk? Is it cutting the grass? Like, I don't care. There's no judgment. I don't care what the thing is that makes you feel bold and courageous and unstoppable. I just want you to do it daily. I want you to start your day with intention. Most people don't start their day with intention, and that makes a difference between the people who achieve success and the ones who don't. And so chart your start. Figure out the thing that makes you come alive, that makes you feel like that big crazy idea of yours is actually possible, and put that into the first 15 minutes of every day. If you did the thing that made you feel bold, courageous, and unstoppable in the first 15 minutes of waking up every single day, not every day will be amazing, but I guarantee you that your life will look unrecognizable from where you are right now. Chart your start. Number 2 is Flex the X. One of the things I love doing is I get an annual calendar. I'm working on making a custom branded one here, but an annual calendar, and every time that you hit your main goals, you cross it off. And what you want to do is not break the pattern. Right? Flex the X. We're getting strong, raw, and you're building momentum. I'm a big fan of momentum. I think we don't have enough momentum in our lives, in our businesses, and towards our goals. Where you see something like this, where you see that I did it yesterday, I did it before, I've been doing it for months, you don't want to break the pattern. And so flexing the X, feel proud about every single time that you do the thing that you want to do. So for me, the 2 most important habits that I have on here, one is fasting until noon. And so the only thing I'll have before noon is a coffee or a tea or some water, and then 30 minutes of cardio. So I'm running for 30 minutes a day. I went to Boston and we got in at 3 a.m. We drove all the way there and I was really tired, but I wanted to get my X. And so 3 o'clock, everybody's going to sleep. I'm still running for half an hour. The only exceptions, if I'm super sick, if I'm on medication, which doesn't really happen that often, then I'll give myself a break. Then I'll be gentle on myself. But most of the time, it's not that you can't do it. Most of the time, it's not that you're not able to do it. You're just procrastinating. You're just being lazy. You're just being tired. And so having a system like this where you can flex the X is super important so that you build momentum. You build momentum to actually accomplishing the habits, because success is a habit. Because again, everything you want out of life is on the other side of you doing the consistent habits every single day. And when you can track them like this and feel the momentum, it's so much easier to keep going. Flex the X. And number 3 is your actions have to map to your ambitions. What I love doing, and as an entrepreneur, we love being planners. We love thinking about the life that we want to have and the schedule that we want to create. Is what's in your calendar allowing you to accomplish your goals? Do your actions map to your ambitions? It's great to be motivated. It's great to watch a video like this. It's great to get some ideas. Your best immediate course of action is now looking at your calendar and saying, if I did these actions from Sunday to Sunday, and put your life in there, from the relationships that you want to have, from the business growth you want to have, every goal that you have, business and personal,
if you did the actions that were in your calendar, would you come closer to accomplishing those goals? And for too many of you, it's no. For too many of you, you have ideas, you have ambitions, you have drive, you have goals and hopes and dreams. But then when you look at what's actually in your calendar, you're spending very little time on actually moving the ball forward on those goals. Now I get it. Maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you have other responsibilities. Great. That's okay. The goal is to make those chunks bigger towards spending on our dreams and goals. But even those little actions, like your first action may be, I need to quit my job. I need to make enough money so that I can quit my job and do this entrepreneurship thing full-time. Awesome. Let me look at your calendar. Are you spending enough time every week doing the activities that you need to do so you can build your business to the point where you can quit your job? Do your actions map to your ambitions? And so it's great to come up with a list of goals and dreams, and we're going to hit these targets in 30 days. And it's super fun to do those exercises. What's more important than just having those goals is the habits. It's what's in your schedule, making sure your actions map to your ambitions. And so great, have your goals, but then immediately, like right now, dive into your calendar every day of the week and look, if I did these things, if I did everything according to my schedule, assuming you're going to stick to your schedule, right? If you did all those things, would you be moving closer to accomplishing the life that you want? Yes or no? And if it's no, then you need to make corrections. And that's where too many of you are falling down, and I want to see you win. Your actions need to map to your ambitions.
The only thing you're missing is momentum. You're a genius. You have great ideas. That idea you have in your head is amazing, can work, can make a lot of money, can impact the world, can serve the people around you. You're a genius. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. You've got Grant Cardone level talent at something. You, even though everybody telling you you can't, nobody's done it in your family before, nobody's done it for your community before, you can do it. You've got it. The only thing, the only thing that you're missing is momentum. You're not doing enough. You're not getting enough results. You're not getting the little wins. The little wins lead to bigger wins, lead to more wins, lead to bigger wins, lead to bigger wins. Momentum. I have a YouTube course that I put out, and once a month I'm in a Facebook group, and we do a live chat with the people who bought the course to help them continue to grow and blow up their channel. And 2 days ago I posted in the group to say, hey, for our next call that's coming up, what do you want to learn? How can I help? We've got this once a month time together, you and me, solo time, like what can I help you with? What topics do you want to learn more about? And you know what the number one response was? The number one response that people voted up was how to stay motivated when you're not getting results. How to stay motivated when you're not getting results. It wasn't a tactical thing. It wasn't how do I fix my thumbnails? How do I fix my intros? What do I title my video? Do you like my color scheme? What topic should I create? How often do I post? How long should a video be? None of that stuff. It's how do I stay motivated when I'm not getting instant early results? And so that's what we're going to talk about next week on the call when we get on. And I think back to when I first started. And there's lessons here for you, not just if you're interested in YouTube, but whatever you're doing. When I first started, I started speaking before I started doing YouTube. And I remember I would go into a speaking gig, and my first one, only 3 people showed up. And I would feel such a high after the speaking gig. Like, man, what this matters. This is amazing. I just helped some people. And then I'd wake up the next day and feel no energy, no momentum. It's like, man, I don't believe in myself anymore. Who am I to go and do this? All of a sudden, the question, the doubt, the insecurities just take over again. Like, where was the Evan from yesterday? And so what I did was, after every time I did a presentation, I asked for feedback, and people would email me their feedback, and the best feedback I put into a PowerPoint file. I put into a PowerPoint file, and I'd watch this presentation every morning that I made, super simple, and put it to a music soundtrack that I like, and it would just be instant, over and over and over again, all the feedback that I got, to remind myself that the work that I did matters. Because yesterday it felt amazing because I was out there speaking and helping people, but today it doesn't feel real anymore. It's crazy how that can happen overnight. And so I watched the PowerPoint file every morning to remind myself that the work that I do matters, that this is happening, that even if I've only touched 3 people, I touched 3 people. It helped them. It was meaningful to them. And I have to keep going, right? It's the small wins. The momentum. The only thing I was missing was momentum. The same thing for you. when I first started on YouTube, the first video that I put up was on Walt Disney. And my mom commented on it, and my sister commented on it, and then one other random person that I don't know commented on it in the first year. So think about it. The first year of me having my YouTube channel up, my first video, 3 comments on that video. And one was my mom and one was my sister, so only really 1 comment from a stranger, someone I didn't know, on my first video after 1 year of it being live. Isn't that crazy? And so what I would do is, I'd look at my comments every day, and even though they'd be the same comments because I wasn't getting very many, even seeing my mom's comment or my sister's comment or that one random dude's comment, knowing that, hey, it touched that one random dude. I have to keep going. I gotta keep moving it. Now I'm spoiled. You know, every day I still look at comments as part of my daily routine, as a reminder to myself. This stuff, the beach views, that kind of stuff, that doesn't motivate me. That doesn't motivate me. It's fun being here. I'm blessed. I'm grateful to have the kind of business that can take me here and travel around the world and do speaking gigs and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. But the thing that gets me up, that motivates me, that fires me up, is knowing that people are consuming my content and it makes a difference. That's a pelican right there. We've been trying to get that pelican all day. Where's he going? Where are you going, pelican? Look. Hold on. Oh, where'd he go? I'm losing him. Where'd he go? Okay. These pelicans are hard to catch. Anyway, knowing that the work that I do matters, and so still today, even though we get, I don't know how many comments every day, it's still the first thing that I do is I look at the comments. Every single morning, look at the comments to know that the work that I do matters, and I would highly encourage you to do the same. Whatever that equivalent is. If you're making YouTube videos or Instagram content, you know, look at the comments every day. Even if they're the same comments as yesterday, it's okay. Like, the work you do matters. It touched somebody. That's the momentum you need to just keep going and make one more video and one more piece of content. If you're making products or services for customers, whenever you're talking to somebody, if you have an email exchange, save the best parts. Save it and put it into a Word file or a PowerPoint file and look at it every day, or post it on the wall. Print out the email and put it on the wall. So you look at it every day and like, I matter. The work I do matters, touches people, is meaningful. I gotta do more of it, because even if I'm not helping 1 million people yet, I'm helping 1 person, 2 people, 4 people. That feeling that the work that you do matters, even to 4 people, it's enough to give you the energy to keep going and doing something again today. That's what's missing from most people. That's what's missing for most of you. Momentum, that's it. So email some customers, social media replies. You had a great meeting with somebody, write down a quote that stuck out to you. Because trying to remember it the next day is really hard. Trying to remember it the next week, the next month is super hard, what they said. So you just had a meeting with somebody, write it down. Write down like the highlight and how it made you feel, and post that on the wall. You need to surround yourself in a physical environment built of momentum, with daily habits that build your momentum. Because if you did that, if you woke up every day and were reminded of the impact that you're having, at least on a couple people's lives, and you genuinely felt like the work that you did matters to people, even on a small scale, it'll give you the thing that you need most, which is momentum, and the feeling of hope and belief that it's possible to keep going, to keep creating, to keep making, and that your mission is going to work out.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video, because you are awesome.
If you want to learn how to build a powerful brand, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
When you grow up like I did early on, you're taught to survive, and as a result, because you're taught to survive in such a way that you can get manipulative.
Make the teaching simpler. Don't teach me